Have you ever heard of a love story so intense it caused mountains to rise and oceans to rage? This is the legendary tale of Tinh and Thủy Tinh, a cornerstone of Vietnamese mythology that explains the annual monsoon season. Let's dive into this epic saga of love, jealousy, and the eternal battle between two powerful gods. Our story begins in the ancient kingdom of Von Lang, ruled by the 18th H&G king. The king had a daughter of unparalleled beauty and grace, Princess Mỵ Nương. When she came of age, the king sought a worthy husband for her, sending out a call across the land. From countless suitors, two stood out, both possessing immense power and divine origins. The first was Tinh, the lord of the Tân Vian mountains. He was a god of the earth, commanding forests, beasts, and stones with a single thought. From his mountain peak, he watched over the land, a majestic and heroic figure, surrounded by a swirling green aura of life and strength. He was the very embodiment of the stability and bounty of the highlands. The second suitor was Thủy Tinh, the lord of the eastern sea. He was a god of water, with the power to summon storms, command sea creatures, and raise the very oceans, rising from stormy waves, with water dragons coiling around him, and his eyes glowing with the blue light of the deep. He was as unpredictable and formidable as the sea itself. Both gods were equally impressive, and the H&G king found himself in a difficult position. He couldn't choose one without offending the other. So, he devised a challenge. He declared that whoever could bring him a specific set of bridal gifts first would win Mỵ Nương hand. The offerings were legendary: 9 tusked elephants, 9 red-maned horses, and 9 golden cockerels, along with other priceless treasures. These weren't ordinary items, but mythical symbols of prosperity and power. The race was on. Tinh, being the lord of the land, immediately set out. With his deep knowledge of the mountains and forests, he quickly gathered the mythical beasts and sacred treasures. He and his procession arrived at the royal palace at the break of dawn the very next day, presenting the glowing offerings before the astonished king. True to his word, the H&G king granted Tinh his blessing. The wedding ceremony was held, and Tinh joyfully took his new bride, Princess Mỵ Nương, back to his mountain home. Shortly after they departed, Thủy Tinh arrived. The courtyard was already filled with his entourage, bearing gifts from the depths of the ocean. But he was too late. When he saw that Mỵ Nương was already gone, his heart burned with rage and jealousy. The sky darkened, and storm clouds gathered as his fury grew. He felt cheated, and his sorrow quickly turned into a destructive wrath. Consumed by anger, Thủy Tinh unleashed his awesome power. He summoned monstrous waves and torrential rains, determined to reclaim Mỵ Nương by force. The water level began to rise at an alarming rate, flooding fields, villages, and everything in its path. Water serpents and fearsome sea creatures emerged from the depths, adding to the chaos. The people of Von Lang fled for their lives, carrying their children and belongings, as their homes were swallowed by the great flood. It was a scene of utter devastation. But Tinh was not a god to be trifled with. Seeing the destruction and the suffering of his people, he met Thủy Tinh challenge head-on. As the water rose, Tinh used his divine strength to raise the mountains higher. With every crashing wave from Thủy Tinh lifted the earth, creating towering cliffs and new peaks to block the deluge. He commanded his own army of mountain beast stone lions, giant birds, and forest spirits to push back the floodwaters and protect the land. What followed was an epic elemental clash. Water versus earth. Waves as high as mountains crashed against newly formed stone walls, sending mist exploding in all directions. For weeks, the battle raged. Thủy Tinh, in his fury, whipped up even more powerful storms, his roars echoing with the thunder. But Tinh stood firm, his strength unwavering. He was the protector of the land, and he would not yield. Finally, after a long and grueling struggle, Thủy Tinh power began to wane. He had thrown everything he had at the mountain god, but he could not overcome him. Exhausted and defeated, the lord of the sea had no choice but to retreat. The storm clouds parted, the rains stopped, and the floodwaters slowly receded, revealing the scarred landscape. Tinh stood victorious atop the highest peak, the sun breaking through the clouds behind him. But the victory was bittersweet. The kingdom of Von Lang was in ruins. Fields were flooded, homes were destroyed, and the people had lost much. However, their spirit was not broken. With hope in their hearts, they began the arduous task of rebuilding their lives, repairing their homes, and replanting their crops. Life slowly returned to normal. Thủy Tinh, defeated, sank back into the depths of the ocean. But his love for Mỵ Nương and his grudge against Tin never faded. And so, every year, during the rainy season, Thủy Tinh returns. He brings storms and floods, raising the waters in an attempt to reach his lost love, forever trying to defeat his rival. And every year, Tin and the people of Vietnam stand ready. They build dikes, prepare for the floods, and endure the storms, just as their protector, the mountain god, does. This eternal conflict between Tin and Thủy Tinh is more than just a myth. It is a powerful story that explains the natural phenomena of Vietnam's annual monsoon and flood season. It embodies the resilience of the Vietnamese people, their constant struggle against nature, and their unwavering spirit in the face of adversity. Tin remains the symbol of that strength, the divine guardian who stands tall, forever protecting his land and his people. What do you think of this incredible myth? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into Vietnamese folklore, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more epic stories from around the world. Thanks for watching.